We've been talking about a couple of stocks to watch out for, and also keep your eye on LIC as well as the Adani Group of stocks. Let's take you through what the entire saga has been when it comes to both of these group of stocks, Adani and LIC, of course. The Washington Post has reported that Indian officials allegedly pushed a proposal to channel about $3.9 billion in LIC investments towards Adani Group firms, and this also includes financing, or rather single-handedly financing, a $585 million Adani Ports bond issue. Now remember, in the month of May or June, Adani Ports had come out with this bond issue to refinance the existing debt in the company, and LIC was the single-handed subscriber to this bond issue. LIC, in response to the Washington Post article, has firmly denied the claims, and it calls these false, baseless and far from the truth. LIC is insisting all investments have followed due diligence and independent board policies. Now remember, as of September, LIC's total exposure to Adani Group companies stands at roughly 4% of its equity portfolio. If I take you through what the LIC exposure is to different Adani Group of stocks, it's at about 7.7% for Adani Ports, and remember, this has been trimmed from 8.1% in the month of June. For Adani Enterprises, it's about 4.2%, Adani Green 1.3%, Adani Energy, Adani Total Gas about 3.5% and 6% each. It's actually Ambuja Cements where LIC holds 7.3% stake, and an even bigger stake in ACC, 9.95% stake via its LIC New Pension Balanced Fund. So, this might seem like a big number, but if you take a look at the bigger scheme of things, Adani Group of stocks are not even LIC's largest investment. LIC's top investments include ITC, wherein it holds about 16% stake, SBI, wherein it holds about 9.5% stake, for Reliance it's about 7%, for HDFC close to 5%, and then comes the overall Adani portfolio exposure capped at about 4%. So this entire allegation coming in from Washington Post and LIC rejecting it is going to have an impact on the stock, and we'll watch out for the stock move today. But let's discuss the regulatory impact of this and what this could mean for companies going ahead in the future that are investing in private sector companies, or rather, let's put it this way, for government companies that are investing in private sector companies. To understand this and more, we're being joined by Mr. H.P. Ranina, lawyer at the Supreme Court, and Mr. Shriram Subramanian, founder and MD at InGovern. Mr. Ranina, let me come to you. First of all, give us a sense of how you are viewing this entire allegation coming in from the Washington Post and LIC's response to it, and what, according to you, should be some baseline rules for government companies investing in private sector listed companies.
Well, LIC has already clarified that they have a certain system in place. They have an investment committee of independent persons. They make research before they make any investment. And based on that research and views of the investment committee, the investment is made. And as you rightly pointed out, the exposure of LIC to Adani Group is much less than to many other companies. Important point to be borne in mind is that Adani Group today is in certain key core sectors of Indian industry. And therefore, the investment which is made in the Adani Group is therefore fully justified, considering the prospects of the business, considering the fact that it's a core sector of Indian industry, and the fact that all due process has been followed by LIC. So LIC has given a complete clarification saying that they have followed all procedures, they have gone through the professional management route, that they have applied their mind to every single investment proposal that has come before them, and based on that, they've made the investment. So I think Washington Post has no basis for making this type of allegation. And even if if LIC makes an investment, it's entirely their business. And if they feel that this is a good business to invest in, they will certainly invest. In fact, they should invest even more, in my opinion.
And Mr. Subramanian, would you agree with that argument? Not warranted, that's point number one, is what Mr. Ranina is saying. No impact on markets in the ideal scenario, but markets don't work like that. Give us your sense on what this means in terms of materiality. We just spoke about that. Do you believe that this is well below materiality limits for the kind of size that LIC is? And talk to us about whether you feel there's absolutely any issue from what the Washington Post has flagged.
Firstly, Washington Post itself has not put out where that 3.5 billion or whatever number is coming from. Two is, if you look at the shareholding of LIC in Adani Group companies, even in the past 10 years, and I have the data right in front of me, which can be pulled up easily within seconds from BSE and NSE website, even past 10 years, LIC has at best maintained it steady. So it's not that overnight the shareholding in these companies have increased or unjustified. Because these investments have happened much ahead of even Modi coming into power in 2014, and some of these holdings have predated that. Two is even the bond subscribed in May 2025. Of course, it's odd that an entire 5,000 crores is picked up by LIC, but the bonds were issued by Adani Ports and they were AAA rated. Adani Ports generates free cash flows like anything. And it is a well-diversified portfolio. Adani Ports handles almost 30% of India's port traffic and has international port assets. So from that perspective, and even the 5,000 crores is hardly a dent in Adani's debt portfolio. Even the Washington Post article points out that Adani has more than 3 lakh crores of debt. So how is 5,000 crores going to make a big impact in Adani's debt? Of course, Adani's put out very transparently that this bond is priced at 7.75 for a AAA rated. That is really good pricing on both sides for LIC as well as for Adani's. Two is Adani's have put out that the bonds were used to refinance the USD denominated bonds. And of course, with the rupee going where it is, one would think that that's a good thing even for LIC as well as for Adani Group. So from that perspective, neither is the investment size of 5,000 crores. It's not that they are investing in a small company. This is a very large company, Adani Ports. So from that perspective, neither is the investment of 5,000 crores huge, nor is it going to make an impact either on LIC's portfolio or on Adani's, make a significant difference to either of them. So from that perspective, the Washington Post article falls flat. One may still say that why did LIC just pick up, was the only financial institution which picked up 5,000. But yeah, that was the opportunity for LIC, and LIC has viewed long-term assets, has held, like you showed in your chart, ITC for almost 30, 40 years now. So all these assets, LIC tends to own Indian businesses for very long term. And a 15-year bond, at 7.75%, probably LIC felt it as